everybody, it's Romania Black, and we're on volume 17 of Attack on Titan. And yeah, so talk to Discord, and the final installments of the anime for Attack on Titan are supposed to come out this fall at some point. I did the math, and I think with No Regrets and Lost Girls included, I should be caught up with the manga around, end of Halloween, probably early November. It should be around that time, which would work out really good because then it'll just be like a Thanksgiving feast of Attack on Titan. We'll be able to finish off in November all of the anime. So that'll be good. It'll actually probably round out to be about the same time that the last part comes out, which should be pretty good. I'm excited about that. So yeah, I went back through the comments for the last couple volumes, specifically volumes 14, and yeah, everybody brought up some really good points about how the manga was coming out in monthly chapter editions, and some people were, when you read for that extended period of time, that it can be a lot to wait month to month. And I realized that I probably sounded pretty bitter in the last video, but I do stand by my claim. I stand by my claim that it is silly for people to just be like, I just want Titan fights and Attack on Titan and miss the giant character development that most of the series is based off of. But I do understand the people's maybe concerns during this arc that they were waiting a lot for the action to kind of get back up to where it is now with volume 16 and then now this one. So I do understand that. It's just kind of funny, but whatever. I've got some comments before we start though. Christopher Peterson was talking about, one of the lessons that we learn in this story is that, there are going to be some moments where you may have to kill someone, but not killing people is often a really great benefit to you. And so, yeah, it's just the idea that if we don't kill off people, we can forge relationships with them that pay off later on. Kind of like the idea of if Mikasa had killed Bertolt and Reiner back on the wall, what would have happened? I mean, the big what if scenario, but the fact that later on Bertolt and Reiner, Armin becomes Bertolt, but Reiner ends up coming up and saving them and helping them later on. There's so many what if scenarios, but I liked Christopher Peterson pointing out that sometimes sparing someone's life can help you in the long run, and sometimes it doesn't. So, we're gonna have to keep that in mind, but I thought that was really good to point out. You can become allies or not. The question is you have to make sure that both sides are on the same side. That's kind of what it comes down to, is you have to make sure both sides come to an agreement for that mutual alliance to work, but they can be really beneficial if both sides are up for it, right? Viper Leone Navarre talked about Eren and Historia, saying that they became shippable because of how open they are in their relationship. And here's my thing. I think that I did have shipper goggles on with Eren and Historia around season 4 because of that dynamic and how easy it is for them to talk to one another. And just, it's the first time we really see Eren open up to somebody of the opposite sex like he does. But arguably he does that with Hanji too, although Hanji's kind of non-binary. However, I do like Viper Leone's comment that because Eren is so open with Historia, that's a sign he's not romantically interested. Because then with Mikasa, as we've seen in the anime, with Mikasa, Eren doesn't really know what to do with his feelings. He gets difficult to process, and he's just like, I don't know, what are we? And of course, Mikasa does the ultimate foot and mouth, we're family. And it's like, why? And Zeke's like, so I do agree with Viper Leone that in hindsight, looking back now, the fact that Eren can so openly talk with Historia does not mean he's attracted to her. It's just the fact that he connects with her. They have a lot in common, as we've seen these last couple volumes. But with Mikasa, there's something else there. Now, is Viper Leone having shipper goggles on themselves? Again, I don't know the final volumes of this series. I don't know the full picture. It dawned on me, oddly enough, by season 4 part 2 that the show was kind of setting Eren and Mikasa up, but the anime does not do a good job of Eren and Mikasa as a couple. They don't do a good job of setting it up. Not until season 4 we were like, he just yelled at her, and we're just, we're gonna get back to that, I know. But right now the manga has done a much better portrayal of their relationship than the anime did, at least for seasons 1, 2, and going into this season here. I'll be curious to see how it develops, but I do appreciate their relationship more in the manga than in the anime at this point, right? But yeah, Eren's just backwards. He doesn't know how to process his feelings with Mikasa, and what are we left with? Viper Leone also talked about, I really liked this point here, that in the anime, I went back and watched the first couple episodes of season 3, part 1, And yeah, in episode 1, Levi does have a pretty big non sequitur. Viper Leone pointed this out, where he just is up there with Nifa and he's like, hey, have you ever heard of Kenny the Ripper? And she's like, oh no, who's that? And I remember me in the reaction being like, who the hell is Kenny? And then we meet him, right? And so it's just a very random moment that just happens and you're like, but there's so much chaos going on in the moment that you kind of overlook it and you're like, okay, this is Kenny. We're having this now, right here, right now, okay. And you sort of forget about it. But when you see it in the manga, it's a lot better set up. It makes more sense. It doesn't just come out of left field. It has some build to it. So I do appreciate that with the manga. And also, I don't remember if I talked about this in the anime reaction or not, but Viper Leone Navarre talks about how there's a big old plot hole in the anime for season 3 part 1 because they had to move everything around to make it fit, because they had to move Eren and Historia's parts around. They have to where the Kitty Squad shoots sleeping darts to make Eren and Historia fall asleep. And I can't recall if I talked about the discussion or not, but Viper Leone points out a very good point. There are no sleeping darts in Attack on Titan. If there were sleeping darts, a lot of our problems would be solved. I was like, yeah, that is kind of a plot hole, right? Like, what the hell are these sleeping darts? Where'd they come from? Why does the military police use them? You think they could solve this whole thing real easy if they had sleeping darts. Like, I like Viper Leone said, Mika said we just go, whoo, and hit Bertolt and be like, and then the game's over. We shoot Zeke with one of these, we've won. You know? So, yeah, I don't remember if I talked about that plot hole in the recap or in the episode or whatever, but it really doesn't make sense in the anime. They just use this plot device and never speak of it again. And so now going back and reading the manga, it makes much more sense what the reality was as opposed to the anime. And then Talo6512 said that before Nifa's character had a name, because in the manga we saw Nifa a lot before we actually got her name confirmed, people in the fandom were calling her Leg Out. And it took me a hot second to figure out what you were talking about, because they're like, oh, they called her Leg Out because she was the counterpart. They considered her the female counterpart to Armin. And I was like, female counterpart to Armin? Leg Out, but his last name is Arlert. What? And it was just like the meme of all the equations. And then suddenly I was at work today and I was in the middle of something and I went, leg out, arm in. Oh! Oh! Whoosh. My most gullible moment of the decade. I was like, oh my god, how did I miss that? Leg out. Leg out, Armin. That was so good. I was like, so thank you, Talo. Took me a while to get it. But I got it. So yeah, those are my comments. I'm really excited to see this volume and see what we get. We're on volume 17. Why not? So I'm very curious to see what we're going to get, but we left off with Rod Reiss turning into this massive monstrosity of a Titan, and Eren deciding that he wants to believe in himself. So good for Eren. Good for Eren. This boy needs to believe in himself, right? Needs to believe in himself a lot. But we're going to start volume 17 of Attack on Titan and see what we get, y'all. And we're going to do that here in 3, 2, 1, and let's do this. I really like this cover for a lot of reasons. Historia looks the weirdest, I think, in the cover because she's all like hunched over like a little granny with her shawl, you know. She does have her hand over her stomach, so I'm like, is that a foreshadowing to her with the baby? And then you see Jean. I like Jean and Armin. They both have the jackets. Jean's is yellow and Armin's is blue, and it's kind of like those two colors like opposites, they're both primary colors. I like Sasha with the red cape. It's pretty, and her next to Connie. He has the little vest on. I like Mikasa and Eren back to back symbolically. I like that she's got his back literally, and they're both, it looks very nice visually. And then Eren is in the infamous outfit that he will be wearing for the rest of the series when he's not in scout gear. It's Eren's adult outfit. He loves that little tie shirt and that infamous cloak. And it's like, he doesn't look like he has an 8-pack here. Something else, too, is that it's like the sunset. It reminds me of the train scene with all of them like going back from the railroad tracks that we see in Brave Volunteers. And then Eren's face, like Armin is looking up at the sky like with this beautiful, hopeful, wistful face. Eren looks very melancholy. Eren's looking up at the sky like he can't enjoy it. Like Mikasa has a little smile, Sasha has a little smile, Historia has a little smile, even John has a little smirk. Connie's looking kind of like determined. Armin's smiling, but Eren looks melancholy, like he just can't enjoy it. There's something on his mind. Yep. And there's that face again, the melancholy face that Eren's just like, you know, just very melancholy and sad. So outside the walls, Orvud district, that's episode 8. I remember the rule of 8. It was around this time in season 3 that I realized that Isayama does not play by the rule of 8, because in every other anime series I've watched, the 8th episode has always been like, especially in like a 12 episode part, the 8th episode has always been like the one. Not true for Isayama's works. The 8th episode of season 2 was like the one right before children. This is the one, the 8th episode in this season was the one where it's just like them chasing Worm Rod Reiss. In part 3, season 4, part 1, it's not the best episode of the series. Isayama goes by the rule of 5 or the rule of 6. The 5th and 6th episode are the ones that you gotta watch. But the 8th episode just didn't pan out. But yeah, ruler of the walls. And then, oh, we get friends! Yay, friends! And a dream I once had. Ooh. So I don't know if we're gonna get, if we're gonna get bystander yet. Ooh, that's gonna be interesting. But we're gonna get friends! Yay! Urie! Give me my Kenny Urie. Okay, so we got everybody here. Kenny Ackerman's here. The gang's all here. Oh, wow. Eren. What a foreshadowing to the founding Titan, right? This like skeletal form here, it's shaped like the founder. It's very creepy. And then they're busting him out. Yep, they're busting him out because he saved them with his ability. Okay. Yep. And then they managed to get out. Oh, Sasha. Yep. It hasn't disappeared. This is pretty big news. Oh, the bottle. I drank from the bottle labeled armor. This is all that's left of the bag. Ah, so there's nothing, none of the serum that's left. Well, so much for that. That's all well and good. Okay, you used whatever was inside that bottle. It hardened, something that you were never able to do all this time. You supported the roof and kept it from caving in. No one taught you how to do this, but you created this huge structure in the blink of an eye. This must be how the walls were made too. It's now possible to seal Wall Maria. And Eren's like, oh, that means we can get this. We can go to the basement. We took the long way, and our path is littered with corpses and enemies. We're poor navigators, but we made it to our destination. We can see what's in the basement. Then again, if that was who my father really was. Oh, there's the question of, does Eren actually want to see the basement? Oh, I don't remember this from the anime. Eren questioning, like, do I really want to go see the basement now that I know that my dad has done this? Oh, interesting. Very interesting. So I like this idea that back in volume 13, we established that Eren had been trying to do the armor and it wasn't working. But we established that now since he drank the armored bottle, he was able to do it. So it could have been, again, there's been multiple times where Eren has tried to do something and it's been framed as, oh, you're just not strong enough. But then we come to find out later there was actually a circumstance as to why he couldn't do it. With the ODM gear in the very beginning, it was because it was broken. Here it's because he didn't drink the armor. It's a situation where they didn't know the full extent of how Titan powers work. So they were just assuming that it was something wrong with Eren, when really it was something completely outside of Eren's control. I think that's fascinating, right? I think that's very fascinating because Reiner's the only one that could do the armoring. Like Bertolt can't, Annie can't. So it's literally just Reiner. Now, can Annie harden her hands? I don't remember. I think she did to make the scale, but who knows if they've augmented. When we get back to the Marley arc, I guess we'll find out. But yeah, that Titan. And there's no time to think about it now. Oh, but Eren with the hand over his head, he's just like, Even for you, your face looks terrible. You can tell that Levi's like, he knows something's up with Eren, but there's no time to sit there and ask about it. They got to get out of there before things get worse. But the fact that Eren is thinking about this, like Eren's like, do I really want to go to to the basement? Aha! And then there's the infamous shot of Armin reaching for Eren's hand and him grabbing it, and that's gonna come back whenever Sasha dies, and he reaches for Armin's hand. That's gonna come back. Oh my god. Yeah, because that, what a frame, like the way that it's framed, that shot. Oh my gosh. I'm also starting Berserk at this point, and there's a shot with a character who's very similar looking to Armin, that does the exact same gesture to the main character of Berserk. And don't think I didn't notice it. Isayama, don't think I didn't notice where you got this reference from. It's a Berserk reference. What about the Titan? What about indeed? I thought the world was coming to an end. Armin's like, it's a problem. And then there it is. You know what it looks like? I know this came out after it, so I can say it. I don't know if Isayama was influenced. I mean, one, it looks like an ostrich with its head in the sand, right? It's a very cowardly pose, which fits Rod Reiss very well because he's a coward. But it also looks like No Face from Spirited Away, when No Face like eats all of the things and is like crawling around going after Chihiro. That's what it looks like. It's like none we've seen. It's twice the size of the Colossus, which is huge. Yep. It's just abnormal. It's messed up because it didn't inject the serum properly. It's ignoring us. What happened down there? I like the story is like, well, what did happen down there? Oh, Hanji. I forgot Hanji. We can call the Titan power inside Eren the progenitor Titan. Only those descended from the Reiss bloodline can use the true power. But they'll be controlled, which won't let them free humanity from the Titans. I like that Hanji goes, that's really interesting. Like, of all things, it's something that most people would be entirely freaked out about, but Hanji's like, well, that's cool. The first king would call this true peace. That's a funny way to look at things. Yeah. I like that Hanji points out that, so hiding behind the walls and just letting ourselves slowly become consumed and just contained in a prison is peace. Okay. We still have options. And so Eren says, if I let the Titan eat me, then Rod Reiss could be a human. We could bring back the full progenitor. And Levi's like, yeah. We can successfully restrain him and undo the first king's brainwashing. That could be a way to save humanity. Are you prepared to do that? And I like that Hitch and Marlowe are there. And Eren's like, yeah, I'll let him eat me. And I like that Mikasa is like, no. Mikasa's like, I can't let you do that. I can't let you get yourself eaten for this person that doesn't care about you. And then Historia says we have another option. I like Historia's like, hold on now. I like that Historia says there are a lot of problems with the plan of turning Rod Reiss into the progenitor. You talk about undoing the brainwashing, but yeah, they've tried for decades and failed. So once he gets the power, you won't be able to strain him, even if he can alter humanity's memories. So she's like, if we let him get the power of the Titan, he could just alter our memories and we wouldn't even know. That's a bad idea, which I agree with. I think letting Rod Reiss eat Eren is a terrible idea. No. In fact, these circumstances could be the only hope humanity has. The progenitor Titan has been taken away from the people who would use it to propagate their ruinous ideas about peace. Your father was trying to save humanity from the first king. Well, kind of. Yeah, he stole the Titan from my sister and murdered the Reiss family because that's the only option he had. If you want to save Mikasa, Armin, all of them, you have to learn to control this power. Yep. If you want to save Mikasa and Armin and all of them. Oh my god! Yep. She's like, your dad was trying to save humanity. And I like that Eren's like, well, and Grisha was only trying to save humanity because Eren told him to do it. So it's just like a big old roundabout thing, right? And I like that Armin says there's no reason Dr. Yeager would do something like that for no reason. There's a way to save humanity without the Reiss family's blood. True. That's why I entrusted you with the key to the basement. Well, yeah, and then they're like, the basement was so important. I like that John is like, we can plug a hole in the wall. Let's forget about this basement. This basement's not a problem right now. But yeah, I like that Armin kind of phrases that in an interesting way because he doesn't say, oh yeah, Dr. Yeager wouldn't do something like that because he's a nice person. He wouldn't do something like that without a reason. Mm-hmm. And so yeah, are you sure about this Historia? And I like that Levi's like, well, technically, I guess things are a little bit simpler now. We're going to plug up the wall and save Maria. I guess we'll just handle the rest of this later. Okay. Hanji's like, we've got to do something about Rod Reiss. We're going to have to kill your dad. Well, yeah. Oh, no. Oh, no. I never liked Rod's character. I remember being very adamant against him in the anime because I didn't like him at all. I thought he was very cowardly and slimy. And there were a lot of people trying to defend Rod Reiss and paint him as just a cowardly man. And yeah, he's not malicious. He's just a coward. And that's the thing about this series. Most of the characters that you find, they're not outright evil. There's a reason they're doing the things that they're doing. It's just, do you agree with the things that they're doing and their methods, right? And so it makes sense why Rod's doing what he's doing. That's what he believes in. But the fact of him manipulating Historia when Kenny points out the obvious hypocrisies of most of what he says, and for Kenny to be the one to point it out, I'm like, ugh. And I just didn't like Rod ever. And so, did I feel bad when he died? She says, I'm sorry. When we were back there, I did intend to become a Titan and kill you. And Mika says like, wait, what? And not for humanity's sake. I wanted to think my father was right, and I didn't want him to hate me. So yeah, her saying that she's like, I wasn't doing this for anybody but for him to love me and for my own selfish reasons. That is one thing about Historia. Like, I get mad at Historia in the previous volumes because she's so easily swayed, but knowing her character and knowing she's a girl that just wants to be loved and is selfish, and Eren's not too different, is interesting. I love it. And then there's Erwin. Yep. And then, oh my God, going to Orvud district. Yep. Oh my God, oh my God. You tiny old man. I love it. He's like yelling at him, and then Levi looks back. Oh my God. I was at my wit's end and I said, stop, Titan. But he touched Dinah. Yep. And then Erwin shows up. Only Hanji's hurt. I like that Hanji's like, hey, Erwin! And Erwin's like, well, it doesn't look too bad. If Hanji can wave, right? Well done. I like Levi says, I have a long list of things to tell you, but it's Rod Reiss. Just so you know. Oh my God, just so creepy. Its head like dragging the ground. No, thank you. It's abnormal. It's going to be attracted to a higher concentration of humans. If we take the people away, it's going to keep following until it finds them. You want them to lead straight to the middle, then go right ahead. I like that you see the illustration. The one guy's like biting his lip. He's like doesn't like it. We have to take the Titan out here around Orvud district. We have to use people as bait. That's just the way it is. It's a gamble, but honestly, I do agree. If the Titan was following based on where the people were, if you just move the people, it would keep following, and you can't do that, right? It's a slow target. Oh, wow. And again, there's everybody looking at Eren and Armin and Mikasa and the others. And Eren. What's so fascinating about this series over the course of it is you have Eren at the very beginning in season 1 where he was all about this. He was like, I want to save people, put your trust in me. Like at the title, he was like, rely on me, let me handle everything, I can do this. And then the moment the Survey Corps died, the moment the Levi squad died, that's when the switch flipped. The moment that the Levi squad died and Eren realized he couldn't protect everyone, that it was a reminder that he wasn't as strong as he wanted to believe he was, and that putting people's lives in his hands, there was a chance that these people were going to die. And he had it had an effect on him. And it's like, it's traumatized him. And now he sees all these people and all he thinks is like, what if I let them down? What if they die? What if it's my fault? You know? It's so fascinating to see. The series, one thing I love about Attack on Titan is it's not preachy and it doesn't treat its audience like they're stupid. It makes it so subtle, the character changes, that you notice it as the story goes, but it never once says, have you noticed how Eren's been changing this whole time? It doesn't come out and say it, right? It's very, very subtle and effective. Mm-hmm. And then there's them all sitting there. I like Eren in the black shirt, in the all black. That's a really good look for Eren. Yep. Sasha saying, I'm not hungry. So I like that Eren goes, for real? Is something wrong with you? For Eren to say that. I'm not either. And Jean says, yeah, it could be because we were killing people left and right until just now. And Eren's like, what? A lot has happened, Eren. And to think the day still isn't over after all of it. Oh my God. I like that Eren looks at Jean like, what did I miss? Like, what's been going on? Because, yeah, they're all just like, the idea of killing Rod Reiss, who's become a Titan, the idea of all the people they've had to kill. Yep. Why'd the king have to do something so stupid? And Historia says, it's my fault. And she's like, what, you didn't expect me to be wearing ODM equipment? You can't take part in this battle. I'm here for a showdown with my own fate. Oh. She says, you're the one who told me I need to choose whether to run or fight. Oh, that's so good. Yes. Go back to that moment in the manga. Yes. See, now, that's a great callback. I like that Historia's like, look, I've done some soul searching, thought about some things. You gonna be a hypocrite and tell me what I can't do? I'm telling you, this is my choice. Hashtag no regrets. I like that Levi's like, well, there's no time for this, damn it. Like, quit making me eat my words. I love that Historia takes charge and she gets him in that moment. That's so good. Yes, please. Ooh, man, to see the scale of it, to see how tiny everyone is, to see it on fire, to see it just be like this bloated version is, wow. I don't know if I want to see its face when it lifts up and it doesn't have the skin. That's going to be the freakiest thing ever. I'm not looking forward to that. No. Nope. Imagine Ymir had to make that. She had to make that in the pathways. All right, and so they're doing the drill with all the people. Tell them they're doing a firing squad. Don't worry about what's outside the wall. Don't you worry. Oh my God. I like Erwin's like, how do you like that? Like him like whispering behind Levi. Ah! I love it. And Eren in that moment, like in that one shot, Eren looks like the love child of Erwin and Levi. Fun times. Oh my God. Oh, is it going to lift its face up? Oh no, I'm not ready. Not ready. Okay, they're like, the cannon fire's not really doing much. Okay. So, the Survey Corps is nothing more than a gamble. Like, everything you come up with. That seems like Levi just kind of chiding at Erwin, being like, is all you can do gamble? Like, they sound like an old married couple, right? And then I always remember from this episode, I always remember Eren with the powder kegs, and I always remember Historia and the speech that she makes. That's like the one big thing from all of this. Mm-hmm. Yep. There's one on the other side, and there's a trigger. And there lies the shelling like a swarm of cicadas. Okay. In the event we survive this, you're going to be the queen who rules the world inside the walls. It's a problem for you to be on the front lines. And she goes, I have a question for you. Do you think the people are so naive they'd obey a ruler in name only? I like Historia just decided. She was just like, I threw it on the ground. I'm ready to be a queen. Shut up. I assigned myself a mission I have to carry out, and that's why I'm here now. I love that Historia is just standing up to Levi and Erwin. Like, good for her. Good for her. And then Eren, Historia, you've become so strong. I thought you were weak, but it was the other way around. I was the weak one. Now, Eren, don't say that. Shut up. You guys are so similar. Be quiet. Quit that. I started to think somewhere along the line that I was special. That's why I accepted as being unavoidable when other soldiers died for my sake. It's the same way with my Titan powers. I hated the Titan so much, but I accepted the Titan body as my own without a second thought. It was because I thought that its power was my own. That's truly how a weak person thinks. See, I'm just like Eren thinking that at this moment, believing like, because I was special and like I was the chosen one, if people died for my sake, it's fine because I was going to be the savior to save everybody. So if people have to die, it's very much Isayama taking the chosen one trope and being like, do you know all those shonen that you watch where people die and the shonen hero's like, well, I've got to save everyone, so if people die along the way, it's just part of my journey. It's almost like Isayama's like giving that the middle finger and being like, nope, that's not how stories like this go. That's not how the psyche of those characters work. And giving us Eren, who is very much affected by learning that he took all of this for granted, that he was going to be the savior, and realizing that, nope, I'm not the chosen one. Or so he thinks, right? I hate Eren being so melancholy. What should I do now? Sure, I could plug the hole in the wall. But does that alone mean I can save humanity? Me, an average nobody. Which is funny because I think of the audio drama where he is in the high school AU, he is the average nobody. It's humanity as a whole that's the unluckiest of all. Well, you're going to help ensure that, right? Having someone like me as its secret weapon. Oh my god, like humanity being unlucky because Eren is its secret weapon against it later in the rumbling. Yes. Oh my god. Hey, hold on. I was about to knock over conspiracy board, Sama. Oh, it's so, I feel like it makes me so sad to see Eren be this way, where he's like, I'm just some average guy. Like, how can I save humanity? But what gets me about this, he says, does that alone mean I can save humanity? What gets me is that Eren never, at any point in the story at this point, considers that others could help him save humanity. He still, even though he's determined that he can't be this savior to save everyone, he doesn't see any other option. And I'm like, Eren, you have all these people around you, but you're so worried that they're going to die and you don't want them to die that you're not even considering the possibility of working with them to save humanity. He still thinks he has to do it, but he doesn't think it's possible. So I'm like, he's having all this doubt. And then you see the kids that remind him of him and Armin and them. They're like we were that day. Yep. But Armin says, unlike that day, there are soldiers on top of the wall who can fight back, and we're those soldiers. So again, you have Eren going through all of this melancholy, this rope in front of him, literally this embodiment of a tangle of knots, of him not knowing what to do. And then he looks over and sees Armin, who has a plan and is so optimistic, and Eren's just like, how can you not be depressed? You know? And then he sees Mikasa, who just grabs the barrels. And then he sees, Dinah and his mom. And Mikasa says, there's no time to stand around. Your hands need to be moving. And he punches himself, like, snap out of it, right? I wanted to beat the hell out of a useless, pathetic brat, that's all. I hope I finished him off. And I was like, I want Eren to, Eren in the manga finding out he has so much trouble believing in himself. And you're like, you just want him to be like Armin and Mikasa, but it's different. Oh my god, yes. Oh, kids, you about to be traumatized. Oh my god, it's a Titan! And it's just like that day at the very beginning, except that is terrifying! The guts and the rib cage and the face! Oh my god! Oh! That's so disgusting. Nope. Nope. Oh my god. And then they douse themselves with water. Mm-hmm. And there's a Titan. Yep, everybody's all drenched. Oh my god, that's so gross. Uh-huh. And then them using the barrels. Oh, it's just so creepy. Nope. If we want to defeat that Titan, we have to put the gunpowder in its mouth. I love they did the thing from the anime where they drew the face on it because it's so creepy. Yes! Yes! I love they still did that from the anime. That's great. That's wonderful. Good. Jackpot. And it has the shonen-esque, it looks like something off of Bleach, where it's like the explosion with all the swirls and everything. Nice, nice. Oh, yep, nope, gross. Unless we destroy its real body, it will regenerate and create a shield of heat. We can't waste this opportunity. Where is it? And there's Historia. I'm sorry for being so selfish, but this is the first time I've ever had a fight with my father. And she cut that one piece that was his nape. Yep. Oh, and then she studies the memory. Touching it. Yes! Oh! We have to kill every Titan right now. Why won't you understand? I'll be fine, brother. Alma, you're the only one who understands me, which is Historia's mom. Leave it to me, Dad. I won't let the ghost of our ancestors get the better of me. Oh. Yep. Mm-hmm. And then there we are. That's the end of it. Damn. Oh my god. Again, I feel like Rod he just was defeated. And his daughter tried, his brother tried. They couldn't do the job that he wanted to do from the beginning. And so he just kind of crumbled. And it was just pathetic. Yep. And then Historia getting up. Historia's finest moment. Her getting up saying, I'm Historia Reiss, the true ruler of these walls. Yep. Love it. Was that all my imagination? Am I really making my own decisions? I don't know anymore. But it is certainly like me to get swept along by the crowd. And that's saying something too, that she's just like, I don't know if what I'm doing is really me, but I mean, it's in character. Oh my god. Oh, so then what do we have? Is this friends? Oh my god, is this friends already? Oh my god, Kenny. And Urie. Oh my god, Urie. Yes, it is friends! Yay! Okay. Rod, don't shoot. Oh, I like the way that Titan looks. It looks like a colossal Titan, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. Looks like the colossal Titan. We know the one who told him about us has something to do with the assembly. Make this assassin talk. Ooh. He's a descendant of the Ackermans. Oh, okay. In that case, he wouldn't need any other reason to turn his blades on me. Ooh. Ooh. And Urie catching it with his arm. Oh. And then Kenny tries to, like, get himself out of it. What's funny is that I don't think that, like, Levi did not inherit that from Kenny. Like, Levi is not like that at all. That, like, loud mouth of him. Okay, I didn't care much about my family's grudge. Oh, and Rod. He's an Ackerman. You can't erase his memory. Considering the legacy of persecution we brought upon the Ackerman line, your hatred's justified. But right now, I can't die. So forgive me for being a fool who couldn't build a paradise, even in this tiny space within the walls. And then, yeah, he bowed to Kenny with the knife still in his hand. The Titan left me speechless, but this gave an even bigger jolt to something inside of me. Well, I mean, you can't really phrase it any other way. The Kenny Urie ship is strong with me. I'm like, yes, please. Yes, all of the shipping, please. But yeah, I feel like, granted, Urie couldn't create the paradise he wanted. The king's vow kept him from doing beyond what he could. But I feel like what Urie touches upon here is the idea that he takes the time. Rod is wanting to push the violence immediately. Like, just kill him and get him over with. He's the enemy. Just stop him and we'll just end this. But Urie says no. He says, I understand why he's mad at me. I would be mad at me too. He's like, please forgive me, Kenny. I'm sorry about all the persecution that's happened, but I can't die yet. So, and that communication changes everything. I told him I wanted to help, and Urie nodded. Okay, the next assembly session, the guy who squealed to me about the Reiss family was gone. Yep, and the guy he had squealed to was there in his place as the family's dog, sitting back with his legs outstretched. It was my new job. Yep, and so it stopped the persecution of the Ackerman family. It wasn't as if I could walk around in broad daylight, but my list of enemies seemed to be getting smaller. So he basically traded his services to Urie to get them to stop chasing the Ackermans. Interesting. Okay. And then Kutchel, if you're talking about Olympia, someone got her sick a while back. Yeah, Olympia. I figure that, like, them calling her Olympia, it's fascinating. Oh my god, she looks like a skeleton. Oh, she's dead. Oh, little Levi. Little Levi. And are you alive? Oh my god. What's your name? Levi. Just Levi. Oh. It's not even worth telling me your name. I'm Kenny. Just Kenny. And I knew Kutchel. Nice to meet you. Oh my god. I get major Interview with the Vampire vibes of, like, whenever Lestat or whenever Louis found Kirsten Dunst's character and the mom had died from the plague. I get that. I hate that because, like, we don't know, like, Levi, he's so skinny there. We don't know how long he sat there before Kenny found him. And he's just sitting there with his mom dead beside him. Like, that is the freakiest thing in the world. Oh, my God. Nope. A cold little brat on death's door. That's all Kutchel left behind. I wasn't going to leave him to die, but I wasn't enough of a man to be his dad. Oh my God, that line. He's like, I sure as hell wasn't enough of a man to be his dad. He's like, I knew I couldn't do it, right? We started with how to grip a knife. I taught him how to greet people. How to swing a mug and how to swing a knife. I taught him what he needed to survive in the underground. And if he wanted to leave and go to the surface, he was free to. But he'd have to do it himself. And the idea, the symbolism of the knife, of the blade, of it protecting you but also hurting others. Like, again, there's this concept, it's in Neon Genesis, it's in so many other series, about to protect yourself, oftentimes you have to hurt others, right? And that conundrum, that paradox, right? And then we find out about the military police and the interior and Urie. Why did you offer yourself to Urie? Who knows? Probably because he's the strongest guy around. Aww. Being the most important person in the world means you're the most powerful person in it. Which is something that will relate to Eren later on. Eren causing the rumbling. Being the most powerful person means that you're the most important. Ugh. And then seeing Levi, all you need is power. As long as you've got that, you won't meet an end like my little sisters. And then Levi standing up and protecting himself, and that's when Kenny left. Yep. So, again, and then that's when we find out with you. Now, we haven't found yet about the Titans' lives being limited, but Urie looks really old there, right? And he says, not exactly. I like that little, like, that, not exactly, like Isayama gives us a little hint that there's something we don't know about the Titans yet, but just, you know, you'll find out later. This power will be inherited by Rod's children. I will surely live on in their memories. They're inheriting your power. Not long in the future, this world will be ruined. I want to create a paradise for the surviving, waning remnants of humanity. Like he sees what's to come down the road, which makes, you know, the fact they had 5 children make all the more sense because they can only be Titans for how many years. So we just need enough kids to keep the bloodline going till we have grandkids that can take it over too. You believe in violence, do you not? It's the unavoidable truth of the world. But the two of us were on an unstoppable path of mutual destruction. What was it that turned us into friends? Was it violence? How did we meet? How did we become friends? That's the miracle. All I can say is if you hadn't grabbed me with that huge arm of yours, I would have been stuffing your head full of shit before we ever became friends. It is an unavoidable truth, but I still believe in what happened that day, that miracle. I was never able to feel the same way as him down to the very end. But yeah, there's this idea, it's like they came together. The thing about it was that they ended up meeting each other because of violence, because of conflict, but they stopped using violence, and that created the miracle. It's like because like Erwin has told Pixis, humanity is destined to always be in conflict, but the miracle is if you stop the violence and talk instead and become, you know, communicate and understand one another, then a miracle may happen and there won't be any further violence between you. Maybe. He passed that monster down, and I could see him in her the moment I saw those eyes. Yep. Is it because you have so much power that it gives you freedom? Which is funny because they don't have freedom. They have all this power, but there is no freedom because they're stuck there, right? Would we all act the same if we had that kind of power? Even me. Yep. And then, oh my God. And we see all these characters there. Craven. Yeah, somebody commented the one girl was Craven. And I was like, yes, that's her name. Yep. And then that's when he sees her. It's all pointless anyway. Oh, that smile. Like, maybe it's a good thing Levi doesn't smile because Kenny smiles really. Maybe the Ackermans can't smile. I don't feel like we get Miksa or Levi smiling hardly at all. Maybe they can't. Maybe it's a problem. Yep. And he's like, for my grand dream, godlike power, everyone who gets their hands on it seems to turn compassionate. Would the same thing happen to garbage like me? I want to know what it feels like from up there. And that's so crazy, the idea he says everyone who gets their hands on this power turns compassionate, because he's seeing it through Urie's eyes and seeing it through Frida's eyes. But we find out when Eren gets that power, I don't know if compassionate's the word I would use to describe it. I don't know if that's the word I'd use to describe it. Can a piece of trash like me, when we see everything that happened to him, ever see the same kind of thing that you can see? Well, Urie. Is it an OTP for me? It might be an OTP for me. And that's when we see Levi walk up to him. It's you. Yep, you're the only one left. All this blood loss, you're a goner. And that's when he gives him the syringe. And it's got the colossal titan in it, right? Right? Or was it just a regular one and he had to eat, because it's the one he ends up using on Armin, so he ends up eating Bertolt anyway. Yep. it should keep me alive for a little longer. So he's implying that he could become a Titan, right? That's what he thinks could happen, right? But he's like, you've had the time and energy to do it, but you haven't done it. If I don't do it right, I'll get messed up like him. I don't want to die and I want power. I think I just got it. Why he did that. Every person. Oh, here we go. Yeah, every last person I've seen was the same way. Whether it was booze, and we see Sanus. Whether it was women, we see Alma and Rod. Whether it was God. Family, which was his grandfather. The king, or Sanus was the king. Dreams, which is Craven. Children, and we see Kutchel with baby Levi. And she looks so pretty. She looks like basically Levi with a wig. Power. They couldn't keep going unless they were drunk on something. They were all slaves to something. Even him. Yep. And it's so funny because the way that Kenny phrases it, it's such an antithesis to Eren. Because Eren believes that if you're not free, it's like if you're not first, you're last, you know? If you're not free, then you're a slave, and then it's all negativity. Like, you have to be free to be happy. But what Kenny is suggesting is, no, that's not necessarily the case, because Kenny is suggesting you're never going to get true happiness. There's no such thing as freedom, because you're always going to be bound and imprisoned by something, whether it's the structure of society, whether it's your home, whether it's within, your own mind. You're always going to be limited by something, and you need something to keep you going. And him saying you have to be a slave to something doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing, because look at Kutchel. She was a slave to her children. That's not a bad thing. Levi's not a burden. He's not, something to be considered to be a bad thing. But it's this idea that it's not necessarily a terrible thing to want something and to fight for something and to believe in something. And you can find common ground with people because we all are the same and we're all equal, in that we all find something that we strive to have in this world. And God, it's so good. And he says, what are you, a hero? And Levi's like, I just wanted you to tell me everything you know. Why doesn't the first king want humanity to survive? It's the reason that we Ackermans opposed him. And then Levi says, what were you to my mother? And he says, I was just her brother. God, Levi's face where he's like, that look on Levi's face where he's like, you were her brother this whole time? That day, why did you leave me? Because I can't be some kid's dad. God. Yep. Because he's like, what right do I have to be your dad? Oh my God. And then Levi just in the woods alone with him, just sitting there, and we don't get to see his face, damn it. And then Historia looks so pretty there. Look at her hair all pushed back. She looks so pretty. I love like the flowing like cape and everything, the gown. She looks gorgeous. Oh, wow. Queen Historia. Oh. I love how beautiful she looks with her hair pulled back. She looks so pretty. Oh. Wow. And she took credit for finishing off the Titan. Wow, okay. And then she goes to punch. This is where she goes to punch him, right? People were saying in the comments that in the anime, Mikasa is the one that suggests it, which works out with Mikasa and the character. That works out. But it was Demo in this. And then she goes and punches him, and they're all like, oh, yeah. What now? I'm your queen. And Levi says, thanks, all of you. I feel like Levi in the shadows there, like in this moment, again, what I like is at Isayama, it's very much show, not tell. But it's in this moment, Levi's like, yeah, I just lost my uncle that I found out was my uncle. And it's like Levi in this moment is considering, so he's like, so by the way, I really am grateful that you all are here because my family's getting smaller and smaller, right? Okay. Ooh. So then we have this chapter, A Dream. The last chapter is A Dream I Once Had. Okay. And then, oh yeah, God. And we're going to see against this same picket fence, we're going to see Eren and Historia later standing right in front of it during season 4, part 2. She's not the queen I expected it to be. She's more at home running the orphanage than ruling. Yep. The monarchy is just for show. But do you know what they call Historia on the street? The cattle farming goddess. Mm-hmm. She really is a goddess now. Oh my God, Jean! Look at Jean! Oh my God, no one's even going to remember who plugged the hole in Trost District. John is horse face! Look at that! Yeah. I like Jean's just like, can I not just joke around with you, Eren? Do you not? Jean looks really good there, by the way. I really like how he looks in that bottom panel with Eren. He looks really good. His hair's like starting to grow out. Mm-hmm. She looked everywhere from the underground and gathered the orphans and people she found there and brought them to this farm. Yep. And she's at the war council meetings with Levi and all of them. And so Eren's saying, I don't think she thought it out quite this far, but she was going to find people in trouble and save them. That's what Historia wanted to do. Yep. Okay. All right. She's starting to remind me of my mom. Oh my God. And Armin's like a goddess, huh? Okay. And then we have Eren and Historia having this conversation. They'll come again. What do you want to do? What's going to happen if we meet Reiner and Bertolt again? I have to kill them. Do you want to kill them? I have to. Which means he doesn't want to kill them, but he believes that he has to. Man, Eren's face looks really hard there. Looks very season 4-esque, that face, that side profile. And then they're just there. Mm-hmm. I hope we figure out why the world turned out like this. I can't regret turning down the first king's power. Oh my God, yep. And then Eren saying, she's like, what we're doing here, the children from the underground have started to smile recently. What we're doing here can't be wrong. And Eren says, you're amazing. And she's like, oh, not at all. Blush, blush, blush. I think that's what fueled my shipping, was her blushing with him. Even though you were saying that humanity should just go to hell that day in the cave. I just got carried away, that's all. But I think the Historia touches upon a really big point here, which again is another thing with Isayama, is her saying, like, these little gestures, like these little things. Like Eren is looking at this big picture, like broad goals. We have to kill Reiner and Bertolt, who are nowhere near us. Like he's like just thinking long, big end game. And she's like, yeah, you don't want to do that, but okay, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But look at these little things that we're doing that are helping making people's lives better and saving people. She's like, these little things, like taking the kids from the underground and letting them smile. What we're doing here can't be wrong. And it's something that's going to keep coming back, as the idea of doing these little things to change people's mindsets that will have impact and trajectory later on. But Eren can't see that. And it's just like, and granted, Eren has a reason not to see that because things happen, but I love Mikasa showing up. Being like, give me that. Stop treating me like some old man. Okay. And then those of the old order. Yep, we're scattered across the lands. And then Sanus is there in the prison, the sunlight. Mm-hmm. Okay. Some inside the Interior Military Police, which had been ordered to wipe out signs of technological innovation, had preserved research records in secret, opening the door to newer and better weapons. Okay, so like they didn't get rid of all of it. And then we have the light bulbs being created by the stones. Uh-huh. Yep. Mm-hmm. The hardening power gave birth to a certain anti-Titan weapon. Oh my God. Yep, we're gonna go get the Thunder Spears! The Thunder Spears! Oh my God. And then, yep. Stick your neck out for me. Okay, and then the like crushing thing right there, right? Mm-hmm. Oh. And Moblet! Look at little Moblet. A 12 class meter Titan's down. Okay, so soldiers don't have to fight them with this. I love that Hanji is all about creating this new technology that will save others and getting the reporters to talk about it, right? And then Eren's overusing his Titan powers. Yep. There's a limit to what he can do with his own body. Yeah, because he's getting older. Okay. And so the thought of being able to kill Titans without anyone having to be eaten. We just have to close Wall Maria. And then we'll be able to clean the Titans out from inside the walls. And let's get ready to go Shiganshina. Oh my god. Ah! A Titan guillotine. Yep. Okay, and they've been securing the path. Yep, to go back to Shiganshina. Oh my god, like just, you know, it's been a while since we've talked about Reiner or Bertolt or any of them. Within the month. Okay. Why not? Do you have any advice? I like Levi's like, no, I don't have any advice. Yep, if we fail, we'll go bankrupt. I like Erwin and Levi together side by side here. We've bled both inside and outside the walls in order to retake Wall Maria. As for the Survey Corps, we intend to devote our full strength to repay our lost fellow soldiers for giving their lives. Hope you find what you're looking for in the basement. And I like Levi looks over to Erwin and kind of sees him in that moment. Oof. And they talk about the bottle. Yep. It's beyond our capabilities. And then they say they're going to trust it to Erwin, but he's like, no, I'm going to give it to Levi. And Levi's like, why me? Can I trust you? You'll be the one to decide who to use it depending on the situation. Can I trust you? And he's like, what if that dream of yours comes true? Oh my gosh. It's just all of the foreshadowing everything, right? Oh. And then Marlowe's all excited because this is the point where Eren sees them all, right? He sees all the people he wants to protect. Are we going to meet Flock? Are we about to meet Flock before this? Yes. Okay, hold on. The spears can cut through the Titans like they're made of paper. Oh my god. So they're talking about the Thunder Spears now. I don't remember if they did that in the anime or not. I don't remember. I almost feel like they almost kept it a secret, right? All right. And then they're all sitting there. Oh, Marlowe. Yep. These veterans. What was that, Jean? Oh my god, it is Flock. He looks so plain. He looks so uninspired. Oh, us garrison leftovers. Ooh, okay. So Flock was from the garrisons. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. All right. We can't be the only ones. All of society is feeling the same way. Time to rebuild society. Gather ye soldiers. Oh, ho, ho, ho. You call yourselves heroic veterans. He's like, well, compared to you guys. I love it. Jean's like, well, I mean, let's be real. You've all really changed. Look at Flock with his fluffy hair. What in the world happened to you? Well, do you want to know? Oh my god, Jean. And then Flock's like, no, maybe next time. Oh my god. Yeah, and Hitch. Oh. Why? I love that Sasha was onto the fact that Hitch liked him. Sasha knew. And like, Connie knew too. He's like, what a bunch of goons. And Mikasa's like, what is this? What are we gossiping about? Hitch did berate me. So stop acting cool, you weakling. Because she's staying in the military police. Oh, girl. I love that Jean's like, you piece of shit. She liked you and you let her go. Oh my god. Look at this bastard bowl cut. Oh my god. And then Eren says, what? Marlo hasn't done anything wrong. Oh my god. I love that Marlo blatantly misses Hitch's advancements and he doesn't get it. And everybody's like, Marlo, you bastard. You totally missed what she was trying to do. And Eren's like, I don't see what the problem was. Because Eren would be the same way. Eren's like Marlo. He'd be the exact same way. He wouldn't get it. Oh my god. Yep. And then, oh. Connie's like, I was thinking of going back to my village tomorrow. Uh-huh. Yep. If we keep learning more about the Titans, then one day... And then Eren and them go back to the Titans being human. Ooh, okay. Okay. This conversation between Ymir and Bertolt. If it's not a dream you had, it means Ymir was a Titan that wandered around outside the walls. 60 years. Like I was stuck in an endless nightmare. A nightmare. Oh my God. Okay. I wonder who these enemies of ours really are. Does that mean that Titans are just humans being tortured by nightmares? I don't remember a thing about it. All I remember is what my father saw as I ate. And Mika says, like, stop. Like, whoa, hold on. Don't go back down the dark bridge. Let's not do that. Oh my God. She's like, you can talk after you're done eating. Sorry, Mikasa. Oh. I like that Eren doesn't argue with her. He's just like, yeah. And then Armin says it's probably not just nightmares. There's more on the other side of the wall. I like that Jean's like, all you've been doing lately is grumbling to yourself like that. You got some kind of adolescent mental disorder? Jean! Jean! Our king! What you need to be doing is remembering that man. You saw him when those memories came back to you in the cave, right? Whoever this Survey Corps man was who met your dad the day he escaped from the cave. Oh, and it's yeah. Yep, Shadis. Yep. Mm-hmm. I just, God, Jean, you know, Eren doesn't have a mental disorder. He's depressed. Oh. He met my dad. He has to know something. And then I'd like to headbutt as many times as he wants. And then it's the instructor. That's how he knows. That's how he knows. Yes. 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 It's been him all along. Keith Shadis. I was joking. He's like, no. Oh my God. What? We just cut from that to this? What? Oh my God, Reiner. At this point, we can officially, I think this is the moment that Reiner started to really suffer. This was Isayama going, hey, do you like Reiner? He's like one of my favorite characters. This is going to be him the next 12 volumes. Oh my God. Oh. I won. And we've not seen Zeke before. Don't you know you should be trying to retake the coordinate? Wait here and they'll show up after all. And the glasses. Oh my God, that should have been foreshadowing. The glasses should have been foreshadowing that he was Grisha's kid. Oh man, it's almost like Isayama thought about making Zeke sexy and then changed his mind at the last minute. It was like, nah. Oh my God, we don't get to see Bystander yet? What? What? Oh my God, we don't get to see Bystander yet? What? What is this? It's time to set foot in the Great Ramen Wars. What? And Sasha and Connie have these, like, stop messing with your phone! Fiddling with your phone! Oh my God! What are they doing with Mikasa? The customer's always trash. Hardcore ramen means never having to say you're sorry. Isayama, what is this sense of humor? What is this? What is this? Oh my God. Instructor Shadis. The man who knows the hidden truth from that day in the year 845. How does he feel and what will he say? Oh my God. Oh my God. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. 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 You know, why not? Ah! Well, I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I'm kind of floored at this point because I was honestly expecting in this volume, I was like, maybe we'll get to the end of season 3, part 1 in this volume, but we don't. We really took our time with the Orvud district, and wow, we have not gotten to Keith Shaddis yet. That's so bizarre to me that we haven't got, like, we previewed this. I feel like they reorganized things from the end of this. I feel like episode 12 ended with the stuff with Reiner and Bertolt. Maybe. I'd have to go back and look. But he realized in that moment that Keith's been there the whole time. He just lost all his hair. But man, what a random, it's almost like Isayama just came out of nowhere. He's like, I was joking, he's like, oh, not for that. We have to go see Keith Shaddis. And then we just instantly pop over to Reiner, Bertolt, and Zeke. Like, no preview, no preface, nothing. It just happens. And then we see Zeke for the first time. Yeah. You can worry about saving Annie later. You need to retake the coordinate first. Oh my god. Yep. It's great. It's amazing. So this volume was really, really good. Again, the whole thing with friends, all of that, I'm like, I'm really amazed with how this volume is handled. I'm glad with Historia's arc. I'm glad with Historia's arc in this. She looks beautiful as the queen. I'm a little worried because this is where she peaks. And then from here, Isayama has nothing to do with her. So she's just there. I hope that we have more with her when Eren does the kissing of the hand. I hope we get more of that. But yeah, what I liked about this volume was seeing again the conversation that Kenny has with Levi. Eren's not there to hear about being a slave to something. And the idea that Eren is questioning whether or not we should go to the basement at all. But we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. I feel like Isayama the whole time was just telling us as the audience, being like, you sure you want to go to the basement? You know there's no going back once we go, you know? And we're all just like, yeah, let's go. And he's like, yeah, you sure? Oh, man. I'm probably gonna poll. I was debating on whether to read No Regrets, because I bought No Regrets. I bought the volume. I haven't bought volume 18 yet, because I was debating on whether to read No Regrets. We've been talking in the Discord, and they were like, oh, you should probably read No Regrets after Friends, because that'll be a nice, I wanted to read No Regrets before we start season 3 part 2. I wanted to read it before then. I feel like I don't know if I should go ahead and read volume 18 before reading No Regrets, or read No Regrets and then volume 18. I'm going to poll Patreon and see what they think. I'm going to go to the Discord and ask the people in the Discord, like, what do you all think? Should I read No Regrets before volume 18 or after volume 18? That's what I'm going to ask. Because I'm good either way. I already know the events of No Regrets, and I know the events of season 3 parts 1 and 2, but I've liked the surprise order of this, because I honestly thought we would be through Bystander this volume. I didn't think they were going to separate Friends and Bystander, but we do. We also meet Flock, and he looks very average. Because you can't see, originally he has blonde hair in the manga, right? And they made it red in the anime. Best decision. There's enough blondes in this damn show. Having Flock be a redhead is the best decision the show could have made. It makes him stand out. It makes him distinct. I love it. But he looks so plain right now. Like, you can just tell he has a weird little nose. That's different. That's a different thing there. But, So I'm really excited for next volume. But yeah, I'm going to ask Discord. I'm going to get on there, ask them what they think we should do about volume 18 or No Regrets. One of those two will be next week. It'll be a surprise. It'll either be No Regrets or it'll be volume 18. One of the two. But next week we will have another edition of Attack on Titan's manga. I'm really excited. I hope y'all are too. But in the meantime, I'm curious to hear your thoughts down below. Please, no spoilers, hints, or clues to the manga and what's going to happen next. But in the meantime, I hope y'all have a wonderful week. Please stay safe, take care, and yeah, I'll be back very soon with more Attack on Titan.